DOULUO DALU Chapter 23, She-Devil's True Colors. Part 1. Please forgive me, schoolmaster. Inside Shrek Academy is at least one spirit sage and numerous spirit emperor level powers. I was unable to enter to examine. However, I already handed over the letter with your explanation to Shrek Academy's teacher, who confirmed they would leave it in their dean's hand. The middle-aged man's face revealed a smile. Flender, Flender, you truly are a reasonable person. I would go have a look at what kind of education you can give my daughter. Perhaps just by leaving the family that little she-devil will become a bit sensible. Fine, you withdraw. Yes, schoolmaster. The youth quickly withdrew. A bold, powerful voice echoed within the hall. The voice seemed to come from all directions, shaking the hall slightly. Fengji, are you so relieved to let Rong go outside by herself? Don't tell me that Shrek Academy's teaching could be better than ours. Out of the question, I would go bring Rong back. She cannot feel at ease outside. Along with the appearance of the voice, a hair and beard all white, but face tender like a baby's, walked out from the back of the hall, with a big whoosh was beside the chair where schoolmaster Ning Fengji was sitting. Ning Fengji showed a helpless expression. Uncle Jian 2, between you and Uncle Long 3, I also cannot let this girl remain within the school. You really are too doting. This girl already cannot be disciplined at home. Let her go outside to receive instruction and maybe she will change somewhat. Uncle Jian, dissatisfied, said. Who says we coddle Rong? You have only seen the side of Rong, who ordinarily likes to play a bit noisily. You have not at all seen her cute side. You have many sons, but of daughters only the one. Are you still truly willing to part with her? Ning Fengji resolutely said. Uncle Jian, this time no matter what you say, I will not go to find her. Neither can you and Uncle Long leave. You do not need to worry about Rong's safety at all. That Shrek Academy's dean was originally the first Spear 4 of the Golden Iron Triangle. It's impossible for him not to recognize our 7 treasures glazed tile school's spirit. Having him to protect, Rong will not have problems. Uncle Jian snorted in a spitting rage. If Rong has problems, we will hold you to account. My body is a bit tight, I will go find that old bone long for some exercise. Let alone 7 treasures glazed tile school, even if it was in the entire DOULUO continent daring to speak to Ning Fengji like this, there would not be even a few people. But this old man before him clearly was one among them. Although on the surface Ning Fengji looked 40 years old, in fact, his age long ago already surpassed 60 years old. Ning Rong was his youngest child, and also his only daughter. At nightfall, Shrek Academy's dean, Four-Eyed Owl Flender, stood on the large grounds, looking at all 7 students before him. Dai Mubai, Tang San, Xiao Wu, Ma Hongjun as well as ice-cold neatly settled Zhu Zuqing had all already made good preparations for the evening class, each and every one practically trembling with excitement. However, Flender's attention was not at all on them, but looking at the additional 2 students. Oscar, you 2 finished running 20 laps. Flender's gaze had a kind of penetrating feeling, making people not dare look face to face with him. For some reason, all day Tang San had not seen the academy's other teachers appear, including Zhao Wuji. Apparently the entire academy only had them 7 students and this dean. Oscar coughed, nodding, said. Dean, I finished running. Flender snorted coldly. I asked you to, not you. Oscar turned his head to look at Ning Rong. Ning Rong was also looking at him, the pair of big beautiful eyes filled with an innocent expression. Oscar clenched his teeth, nodding, said. Yes, we both finished running. Flender smiled, if letting Tang San evaluate his smile, then, using the word eoesinister was the only fitting one. Very good, Oscar, I did not expect you to have such a spirit of camaraderie. You come over here. Flender indicated the spot before him. Oscar's face revealed a wry smile, but he did not again look at Ning Rong. with large strides walking up to stand before Flender. Flender slowly raised his right hand, light as a feather, clapping Oscar's shoulder. "I greatly appreciate your spirit of camaraderie. This being the case, you go run another 20 laps, let me have a look at just how deep your friendly affection actually is. Not finished running, you need not eat. I already sealed your spirit power, you need not try in vain to remove it. Go." Oscar, without saying anything, only nodded in silence, turning around and running towards the outside. Flender's gaze returned to Daimyo Bai, Tang-san, and the others. "Do you understand why I must act like this? Why I must have him continue running?" Daimyo Bai and Ma Hongjun were very familiar with Flender's temper and were not uttering a word. Zhu Zuking's natural disposition was ice cold, only indifferently looking at him. But Tang San and Xiaowu subconsciously nodded. They indeed did not understand why Flender must act like this. On Flender's face as before hung that smiling expression, making people shiver all over. Because he lied. Even though he was lying for the sake of camaraderie or perhaps some other purpose, he still lied. You all still are children, lies are the worst moral character. I hope you understand. Speaking, his gaze from Tang San's 5 turned to one innocent expression, looking at that lovely pitiful Ning Rong Rong. "Tell me, have you finished my arranged course from this morning?" Ning Rong Rong honestly shook her head, saying, "I haven't. The distance is too long, I'm also hungry, can't persevere." Flender slightly smiled, saying, "Therefore, you alone ran to Suotuo City, furthermore gorged yourself on a meal, and still walked around at Suotuo City's commerce streets, just a moment ago returning to find Oscar, right or wrong?" Ning Rong Rong glared at him with that pair of beautiful eyes. "You spied on me." Flender's expression immediately turned cold. "As dean, I must be in charge of each of the academy's students. If speaking of Oscar's lying is something he does because he does not have the heart to let you receive punishment, they are still pardonable words. Then your violation is a crime that cannot be forgiven. Leaving the academy without permission, failing to follow the academy's directives, having a senior lie for you. Any one of them is not a violation an excellent spirit master should commit. If this was on the battlefield, there is only one outcome for you, that is punishment by martial law, death, nothing more." Part 2. Ning Rong Rong frowned, the gentle and soft expression on her face gradually fading, corners of her mouth slightly rose, unexpectedly revealing a somewhat contemptuous and disdainful expression. "This is no battlefield, just an academy, nothing more." Flender nodded, saying, "That's right, this is only an academy, but this is my Shrek Academy. Right now, I give you 2 roads to choose from. First, pack up your things and leave immediately. You cannot join as a member. Second road, like I proved, you have the qualifications to stay here, if you still have the resolve to no longer offend the regulations in the future." Ning Rong Rong smiled, even though she was only 12 years old, one had no choice but to concede, her smile truly was lovely, very beautiful. That harmless smiling expression somewhat gave people palpitations. "Flender, who do you think you are? Merely a minor spirit sage, that's all." At these words, Tang San and Xiaowu and the others without exception turned pale. They had not expected that tender and soft-feeling one little girl would unexpectedly say words like these. But right now, Ning Rong Rong's facial expression was already without that kind of gentleness, and turned disdainful, full of that kind of haughty feeling. Flender had not gotten angry because of her words, faintly smiling, said, "That's right, I am only a minor spirit sage, that's all, but to the current you, the difference from me still is way too far. Even if you are this generation's most gifted individual at 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School, in the end you are only a spirit grandmaster, that's all. Between you and me there is still an insurmountable gulf. Since you do not see it like this, please leave, Shrek Academy does not welcome a student like you who cannot behave herself." Ning Rong Rong sneered. Want to hurry me off? Not so easy, since I've come I do not plan to leave prematurely. Flender, I advise you to control me less. Otherwise, consequences will not be such that they can be assumed by you. Flender smiled slightly. If I feared some consequences, I would not have this academy. This is my domain, I have the final say. Mubai. Dean. Dai Mubai stepped forward, currently his gaze at Ning Rongrong was disbelieving. He vaguely understood that for the current Ning Rongrong these were her true colors, but yesterday's her was still concealed too well. Flender said. You go take this Miss Ning Rongrong's things from her room, afterward see her off from here. If she resists, I permit you to use any means. Flender, you dare. Ning Rongrong delicately shouted, both hands akimbo. This 12-years-old little girl showed extremely intrepid atmosphere. In all my life, you still are the first person who dares treat me like this. Flender's smile clouded. That your dad hated you discipline you, is not representative of what I also hate to do. You cannot be my daughter. Also are not my baby. In my eyes, any one student here are all more powerful than you. 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda Spirit indeed is the single most powerful existence among auxiliary type spirits. It's a pity, you will only let it be humiliated. That's drivel. Ning Rongrong in anger with chest heaving fiercely, always in the past, she knew she was 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School's most outstanding child of this generation. She had many elder brothers, but not one could like her break through 20th rank level before 12 years of age. Including her father, 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School's schoolmaster, all said she was first in several hundred years with the opportunity to take 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda and become an 8 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda sect genius. Right now Flender just said not one point about her was good, haughty as she was how could she possibly bear it? Drivel? Then you tell me, compared to who present are you more powerful? Flender disdainfully said. Ning Rongrong said. I am an auxiliary type spirit master, of course I can't compare with those battle spirit masters in power. But my effect on the battlefield is bigger than theirs. With my assistance, one spirit master team's power as a whole will substantially upgrade. Flender shook his finger and Ning Rongrong. No, you're mistaken. Each person present will have a more powerful effect on the battlefield than you. Because on the battlefield they all have a chance of surviving, but you do not. With your disposition, if you went on the battlefield you could only be cannon fodder, nothing more. Impossible. Our 7 Treasures Glazed Tile School's 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda Spirit is the first under heaven, nobody can compare. Why am I different from them? Flender coldly said. Because of your heart. Because of your fickleness and impatience, you hold yourself too high. Even if it was your father, he still would not believe he was first under heaven. If he was not accompanied by outstanding companions, even a common spirit master would be capable of killing him. But with your disposition, you believe you are able to find companions that will completely give you their backs. Ning Rongrong was dumbstruck a moment. Although because she was spoiled from childhood her disposition was somewhat eccentric, she still was exceptionally intelligent. Although Flender's words sounded bad, she already understood Flender's meaning, for a moment somewhat not knowing how to dispute. Flender unhurriedly walked up before Dai Mubai and the others. Because of his confronting Ning Rongrong with words, Dai Mubai had not at all gone to fetch Ning Rongrong's things. Flender indicated Dai Mubai, saying, he this year is 15 years old, Spirit White Tiger, Fighting Type Spirit Master. Innate double pupils. 37th rank. Possesses 200-year Spirit Rings and 1000-year Spirit Ring. Since the beginning of Shrek Academy's history he is the youngest student to reach 30th rank Spirit Elder. When he achieved Spirit Elder, he was only 13 years old. You ask yourself if you are able to at 13 years old break through the 30th rank bottleneck. If speaking of someone able to surpass Mubai, then it still absolutely isn't you. Tang San and Xiaowu at age 12 have already reached 29th rank Spirit Grandmaster level. They just might have the possibility to surpass Muebai's. You were present for Tang San's fight with Zhao Wuji. You should very clearly understand the difference between a Spirit Grandmaster and a Spirit Sage. Even though Zhao Wuji didn't use his full power, the fighting strength which Tang San displayed, I think you saw very clearly. Talking about talent, they both must be more powerful than you. Part 3. Ning Rongrong was still unable to retort. What Flender said was very true. Dai Muebai, Tang San, Xiao Wu. In spirit power they all excelled over her. Flender turned to Ma Hongjun and Zhu Zuqing. Ma Hongjun. His age is similar to Tang San, Xiao Wu, and yours. Entering Shrek Academy at 11 years old, even if his spirit has defects, the variant spirit he possesses is a gifted and capable top-notch beast spirit. Only speaking with regard to spirits, even on the entire continent there still would not be many people capable of comparing to him. His spirit power also similarly not weaker than yours. This is his mental and physical efforts used to make up for his spirit's defective circumstances. Zhu Zuqing, her spirit power is comparable to yours. But she and you are different. She has a resolute and stubborn heart. Zhu Zuqing, you tell me, for what purpose did you come to Shrek Academy? Zhu Zuqing's ice-cold voice answered without the slightest hesitation. To let me become even more powerful. Flender said. How will you act with regard to the Academy's arranged classes? Zhu Zuqing said. As long as my strength development is favorable, I will carry them out without the slightest hesitation. Flender indifferently said. Ning Rongrong, did you hear it all? You ask yourself, to which of them do you compare? Here, you yourself already are the least existence. What qualifications do you still have for pride? I dare say, as long as you leave my place, after 20 years, everyone's accomplishments will be much bigger than yours. Ning Rongrong was not resigned. She truly was not resigned. There still is Oscar. Am I not more powerful compared to him? He also is an auxiliary type spirit master, and only a minor food system spirit master, that's all. He will never be above me. Flender shook his head, saying. No, you're mistaken. If you think like this, then are gravely mistaken. Oscar's gift, still is even above Muebai, otherwise, why would I permit him to enter the academy? Ning Rongrong, I only ask you one question, have you seen an innate full spirit power food system spirit? Ning Rongrong's blossoming countenance lost color. No. This is impossible. How can auxiliary type spirits have innate full spirit power? In the spirit master realm, although innate full spirit power was rare, it was also not unknown, but auxiliary type spirits never appeared. The reason why Ning Rongrong believed her gift was differently endowed, exceeded talent, was because her spirit when awakening reached the 9th rank level. The distance to innate full spirit power was only one step away. This already was the best quality existence among auxiliary type spirits. She had not expected that a bit handsome but with such vulgar spirit incantations big sausage Uncle Oscar unexpectedly would have innate full spirit power. Flender coldly said. Oscar is an existence unprecedented in history. His future accomplishments are boundless. It's even possible to replace your 7 treasures glazed tile school's position among auxiliary type spirit masters. You may not believe what I say, but I can certainly tell you, this is very possible future. Ning Rongrong stood there despondently. From childhood until now, she grew up among people cherishing her. Added to her own talent itself, they were even more extremely doting. She all along believed that she was the most remarkable, the most gifted. Even if her current strength still was insufficiently powerful, that was just because of her age. When she saw Tang San fight Zhao Wuji, Ning Rongrong was already shaken, but in her subconscious there still was an open divide between her and Tang San. After all, everyone's spirit cultivation took different routes. But, right now Flender's every sentence were like sharp swords piercing her heart. In her heart her most proud things were thoroughly crushed. Ning Rongrong's expression looked somewhat pale. Suddenly sobbing, she turned around and ran towards her dormitory. Flender's expression revealed a proud of himself smiling expression, in his heart secretly saying, if I could not even deal with a 12-years-old little girl indefinitely, I would not deserve the golden iron triangle name. Dai Mubai looked at Flender's smiling expression, probing asking. Dean, must I still go help her pack up her things? Flender stared at him, saying. Do you really think this girl will leave? Although Ning Rongrong is a bit spoiled, her nature isn't bad, let her think clearly herself. You go call back Oscar, say I excuse his punishment, let him go comfort Ning Rongrong. Oh. Dai Mubai agreed, turning to go find Oscar. Right now, in his heart towards Flender could not help but admire even more. Dai Mubai also came from an aristocratic family. Of course he also knew Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School's terrifying position on the continent. The entire DOULUO continent's title DOULUO added up only were 10 or so. The Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School possessing 2 of them, strength like this, even if it was the 2 great empires' royal families meeting Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School's schoolmaster, they still would be courteous. But Flender unexpectedly did not submit to force, in this way daring to reprimand Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School's most favored little princess. This could not be explained by simply calling it courage. In fact, Dai Mubai also somewhere knew the mind of this deans before him, guessing Seven Treasures Glazed Tile School's schoolmaster had delivered a letter that could be regarded as an imperial sword 5, otherwise could Flender truly be so without a trace of worry? Xiao Wu quietly stuck out her tongue. She also didn't expect Ning Rongrong's nature to unexpectedly be like this. Yesterday when she and Ning Rongrong were together, all along she felt very familiar with her. Right now she just discovered that Ning Rongrong's original nature unexpectedly was even bossier than her own. Flender held both hands behind his back. Well, time to begin. You have also seen Ning Rongrong and Oscar's results. If you want to remain here to cultivate, you will follow the Academy's regulations. To get better every lesson, my word here is law. Next you will start Shrek's first class. Each of you all will independently accomplish your own course. Do not blame me for not stating in advance. If you do insufficiently well, then, to not die you must shed a layer of skin. Part 4. Dai Mubai very quickly returned, nodding to Flender, indicating he already had Oscar comfort Ning Rongrong. Flender waved his hand, saying. To start off, keep up with me. Finished speaking, just seemed his toes pointed to the ground, leaping up light as a feather, advancing towards the outside of the academy. Everyone hurried to keep up. Flender all along maintained a fast pace, currently observing the gap in strength between the 5 students. Following precisely behind Flender's back, was spirit power most profound evil eye white tiger Dai Mubai. Behind Dai Mubai was not at all Tang San, but Zhu Zuqing. Tang San's ghost shadow perplexing track was exquisite when it came to accelerating in a straight line, but on the contrary not equal to Zhu Zuqing as an agility attack system spirit master. Therefore he and Xiao Wu were lined up side by side in 3rd place. Ma Hongjun last, but also not falling behind much compared to Tang San. All the way, Flender did not say anything, Tang San's group also did not utter a word, in their minds still recalling the previous conversation between Flender and Ning Rongrong. Very quickly, Tang San discovered Flender's destination, was exactly Suotuo City. From Shrek Academy to Suotuo City was not at all far. When soon about to reach Suotuo City's south gate, Flender's speed slowed, letting the 5 students all catch up. Suotuo City located in Balak Kingdom's interior would not suffer any external threat, therefore this city gate stood open the whole day. The 6 people smoothly entered within the city walls. Even though by now the sky had already darkened, Suotuo City seemed to have just woken up, bustling even more than in the daytime. On both sides of the street, the shops were all brightly lit. Some peddlers who only appeared at night one by one found their customary places selling some snacks or maybe small trinkets and such things. Although Tang San and Xiao Wu lived in Suotuo City for 2 days, they had not gone out in the evening. Tang San was tolerant, but Xiao Wu exhilarated looked everywhere, on seeing some interesting thing, quietly moved closer to look more. If not for Tang San pulling her along, maybe she would already have wandered off. Zhu Zuqing still had an ice-cold expression, it seemed as if nothing external had any relation to her, gaze all along staying on Flender in front of her, not a little bit influenced by the outside world. Behind Dai Muebai's eyelids showed his calm side, appearance seemingly exactly the same as Zhu Zuqing, only his face lacked that austerity, everything appearing very natural. But Ma Hongzhen's eyes were a little insufficient for his use, although not like Xiao Wu interested in anything, his eyes were whirling, his targets were all the most characteristic women on the streets. Over 6 years old, under 60, Ma Hongzhen's eyes seemingly let none slip him by. When seeing some ample figure, he immediately swallowed. Fortunately he was last in line, and the others did not discover his current appearance. Flender suddenly stopped walking, looking at the sky, thinking out loud. There still is some time. Follow me. Speaking, Flender brought the 5 to enter an unremarkable tea shop on the side of the street. The 6 sat down around a round table and Flender asked for 6 cups of their cheapest tea. Xiao Wu looked at that full of tea suds tea before her and directly scowled. Dean, our first class wouldn't be here, right? Flender said. Of course not, the place for your first class, is there. While speaking, he pointed towards the outside. Following the direction of his finger, Tang San saw, not far from the tea shop, was a wide and tall building. From their angle, they could only see that building was nearly 100 meters tall, incomparably enormous, in the dark of night, appeared extremely profound. From in that immense building, faint light twinkled. Dai Muebai's expression changed, in a low voice saying, Dean, making them go there on their first day. The Dean indifferently said. Remember, you are all monsters, not ordinary people. Since you are monsters, you will have monstrous cultivation methods. Speaking up to here, he paused, dropping his voice. Your spirits are all different, so each of you also has your own cultivation methods. What the Academy can instruct you in is how to use your spirits even better, help you obtain even better spirit rings, possess even more battle experience, to as far as possible develop your own potential. The remainder is knowledge about all aspects of spirits, as well as the circumstances of spirit masters on the continent. Among these things you need to learn, the most important is combat experience. With equal level strength, the amount of battle experience is key to deciding victory or defeat. Only by repeated combat are you able to as far as possible promote your capability to adapt in combat. Therefore, your first class is fighting. And that place is your classroom. Dai Muebai and Ma Hongzhen looked at each other. Ma Hongzhen did not dare utter a word, in Dai Muebai's evil eyes just expressed helplessness, they clearly both knew what place that was. But Tang San, Xiao Wu as well as ice-cold Zhu Zuqing, all showed puzzled expressions. Flender said. Buildings similar to this one can only be possessed by Lord City-level cities. Its scale can even be said to be a sign of a city's and nation's wealth and power. Buildings like these are known as Great Spirit Arenas 6. Furthermore, they will use the name of the city it's located in. Thus, before you, is known as Suotuo Great Spirit Arena. What is called a Great Spirit Arena is a place for battling with spirits, in other words a place for spirit masters to fight. Whether it's Heaven Do Empire or Star Luo Empire, both have places like this. Spirit arenas decide a nation's prosperity. Tang San frowning said. Dean, aren't spirit masters the noblest vocation? Why would there still be places like this Great Spirit Arena, like some kind of monkeys on show competing with spirits before spectators? Part 5. Flender shook his head, saying. No, you're mistaken, although I also do not like places like this Great Spirit Arena, I have no choice but to admit that the Great Spirit Arenas is an important place that absolutely reflects the value of Spirit Masters. Your thinking is too simple. Great Spirit Arenas are part of a complete system, but can also be said to be a special power. It was founded by all the 7 most famous Spirit Master clans on all the continent, not belonging to either Great Empire or to Spirit Hall. It can be said to be a third power, extremely wealthy. Spirit Masters making their names in Great Spirit Arenas become dazzling celebrities of entire nations. Not only can one obtain immense benefits, and can also obtain maximum prestige, but also, Great Spirit Arenas are a relatively fair place. Here, even if you've killed some great clan's disciple, you still need not worry about reprisals. This is its fairness. Saying this, in Flender's eyes glittered a dazzling radiance. The spirit's level is a mark of whether a spirit master is strong or weak. Spirit rings are even more the best method to express this. But, this is not at all representative of a spirit master's genuine capabilities. Only a title obtained by one's effort from within Great Spirit Arena is exactly the best reflection of one's strength. Any level Spirit Master after entering the Great Spirit Arena, are all only represented by the 2 words EO Spirit Fights. After obtaining the first victory, will receive a badge. Afterwards, every victory obtained, will accumulate a certain amount of points. When accumulated points reach a certain degree, the badge's rank will upgrade. This badge is the Great Spirit Arena's token, but also is commonly possessed by Lord cities on the whole continent. The higher the badge's rank, the more benefits. I will not explain in detail. The badge's rank is differentiated according to mineral quality. The lowest is Iron Badge, which also is for Iron Spirit Fights. Upwards in order is Copper, Silver, Gold, Amethyst, Sapphire, Ruby, Diamond. Altogether 8 ranks. Speaking here, Flender's gaze swept across the 5 people in front of him. Your assignment is to, before graduation, hold a Silver Fighting Spirit Badge, understood? Do not think that obtaining a Silver Fighting Spirit Badge is an easy matter. Mubai and Hung Jun already participated here for more than a year of combat. Mubai, you tell those 3, what the requirements are for promoting a badge here, also your accomplishments. While speaking, Flender drank a mouthful of the shoddy tea before him. He already established Shrek Academy 20 years ago, and naturally knew the easiest way to make students accept instruction, that was to rouse their interest. Regardless of the matter, if having interest that one word as precondition, then, that was half the work. Able to be chosen for Shrek Academy, they undoubtedly were monstrous children. These perhaps said to be monsters, perhaps said to be genius students, were fundamentally impossible to instruct using ordinary teaching methods. Dai Mubai said. I was 29th ranked at the time I started in the Suotuo Great Spirit Arena Games. I have altogether participated in 56 fights, current fight record is 29 wins and 27 losses, currently accumulated points are 2. To promote from Iron Spirit Fights to Copper Spirit Fights, you need to accumulate 100 points, each obtained victory will give 1 point. But, if losing a fight, you will also correspondingly lose 1 point. If continuous number of victories exceed 5, then, for each successive victory, the points directly increase by 10, when successive victories exceed 10, winning again gives 100 points. Even if points reaches successful advancement to Copper Spirit Fights, as long as points drop below 100, this will also cancel Copper Spirit Fight qualifications. Promoting Copper Spirit Fights to Silver Spirit Fights requires 1000 points, fighting in Copper Spirit Fights. Every 1 victory will gain 10 points. Losing 1 fight will also deduct 10 points. Points obtained in successive victories scale like with Iron Spirit Fights. Regarding Dai Muabai's strength, Tang San still somewhat understood, hearing his words, not just secretly shocked. Muabai, with your strength just 29 wins, 27 losses? How is this possible? Your spirit should be a very formidable existence among beast spirits. Dai Muabai said with a wry smile. Nothing is impossible. Great Spirit Arena cannot be such a good place to mix. The games here have 3 kinds of styles. One kind is called contest, and is of an exchanging pointers nature, also with the regulations is which I just now mentioned. Carried out divided according to rank, in other words it's carried out in subgroups by spirit ring numbers. When you have 1 spirit ring, then, you only can participate in group 1 games. When I was 29th rank I had 4 successive victories, and was about to receive 10 points for successive victories. My strength also promoted to 30th rank, obtaining 3rd spirit ring, then afterwards I had 10 consecutive defeats. Points became negative. Equivalent with 3rd spirit ring, the 30th ranked me, dealing with 38th or 9th ranked opponents. How would victory be possible? If wanting to obtain consecutive victories here, then only participate in games while you are 29th ranked, after 30th rank, halt participation, and after reaching 37th rank again enter games. This is possible, but our goal is real combat, so naturally we can't do like that, so my fight record naturally also has some discrepancy. My points still are not as high as Fatty's. Ma Hung-jun spoke up. Up till now I have 33 fights with 21 wins, 12 losses, 9 points. Flender glanced at the sky outside. Nearly time, we will leave first, I will tell you the rest of the circumstances at the scene one by one. Leaving a tip, the party of 6 left the tea shop, walking towards Suo-Tuo Great Spirit Arena. Coming closer, Great Spirit Arena produced an shaking feeling even more amazing. When Tang-san and Xiaowu just arrived in Suo-Tuo City, they had not at all gone to this side of Suo-Tuo City. Therefore they had not at all discovered that Suo-Tuo City unexpectedly also had an imposing building such as this. 1. A registered trademark A copyright A pound A 1/2 A euro A, literally peaceful wind delicate which can mean peaceful grace. 2. A euro degree A euro A euro, sword uncle. 3. A copyright A 3/4 A cent A euro, dragon uncle. 4. A degree A euro A copyright A euro superscript 1, more literally the first spearhead. 5. The imperial sword gives the bearer arbitrary powers. 6. A euro A copyright A euro A with tilde A degree, literally big fighting spirit field.